Add to stream.
Here we go.
Oh, hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Everyone.
We worked out what we're doing.
We got there in the end. I can see that the audio's on. Is the audio on for everybody else? Can
How
everybody hear
about
us?
if everyone can tell us what's going on here? Oh, look. Retro Rob said howdy. So
Howdy.
obviously he can see us.
Well,
Now, let's see if
anybody
Rob
else?
can hear us. If you can hear us, then that's a real plus too. So
Send
hello.
us a sign.
So welcome back to another Hearns Live episode. So
I know. Which one's
Friday
this?
again.
96, 97.
10,000,005 maybe. It's a lot.
Well,
Actually, I didn't check that.
usually we have Nick here to announce that. He's the only one that knows which day of the week it is.
That's right.
Yeah, Nick's not actually with us today, so giving us a bit of space to breathe, which is fantastic.
There we go. We've got some confirmation. So Rob said yes, it's all working, and Andy said it's all working too. So Mr. Cookie's online.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us.
So what have we got? We've got our standards here, yeah?
We've got a huge show. Standards. This thing's far from standard. It is a thing of beauty.
No, I'm talking like it's a standard like segment of the show. This is the car of the week.
Car of the week.
Yeah. So what do we need to know?
Well, what color it is?
No, we need to know more than just the color.
Make, model,
Yeah.
year, color, transmission preference,
Transmission.
air in the tires.
Right. All right, there you go. All that. So let's see how we go. We'll come back to that in a bit of a moment, but we've got quite a few things to talk about, haven't we?
We're going to have Mr. Marlon on today.
Yep.
Talking some red hot releases in the rail department.
Yes.
We've got an exclusive guest, Mr. Tony Gray.
Yes.
Tony's coming on to spend some time with us. We're going to talk probably a lot of things old-fashioned and vintage bash.
Yep.
So that's really cool, something that we're a part of. And, yeah, hundreds of people are in, and it's really got quite a community feel.
Yep.
So, yeah, Tony's going to come in and chat about that.
Sure.
Look at some of our builds.
Yes.
And we have been building flat out lately, haven't we?
We have been.
If we haven't been painting the studio from the inside out with my race inspired paint schemes, we'll call them. We've been a lot of building going on, so
It's a bit of fun.
We'll touch on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get stuck into it. So
All
what's
right.
the car of the week?
Well, that's the car of the week. So
Any guesses?
let's see. Hello, Tony. So Tony's saying g'day. All right, we'll let everyone try and pick that. But in the meantime, we've got a little fella over there too. Which is
I was
also
going to say
blue.
the passenger door's open, but it's not.
That's the driver's side.
I haven't given it away, have I?
No, not quite yet.
All right.
No. Okay, so we've got quite a few trains in, which are really interesting. And Marlon is
Do the
going to
people
come.
have to guess the train?
No.
Because
Marlon's
it's
going to come
false
in.
advertising, because
and
it
tell
says
us what
bear, and it's not a
Who
bear.
doesn't say bear?
It says bear on the side.
Could be a bear in there. Oh, my play school.
Chair
All right.
as well.
All right, how about we get Marlon in? He can explain what the bear's all about.
Come on, you can bring in
Right.
some.
Bear with
Bring-
me, guys.
Yeah.
Bring in
I'm
some
almost there.
highbrow.
Thanks, Marlon.
Welcome, Marlon.
Welcome, guys. Well, hey, guys.
It's great having you in. I'm usually not in the same set as you. We're not usually allowed
It's
to
been a
play
We don't
while,
together,
exist
are
in
we?
the same dimension. do
I
we?
know. We usually just pass each other like ships in the night.
That's
What have you
it.
got for us?
Well, I guess you guys were talking about this little fella here.
Is it a bear?
Technically, no.
Technically.
No, it's not a bear. But
Koala.
it's a locomotive named Bear.
Yep.
For reasons unknown.
Okay.
And this is a little Hornby 040 shunter.
What?
Called it a shunter. So
A
it's a
shunter.
locomotive that's used specifically for moving wagons around a yard or a station.
Cool.
So these things wouldn't be out on the main line hauling big, grand trains. They were sort of like little workhorses.
Okay.
You
Do we have
know,
a close look
So
at
it's
it?
like
How
a-
about
yeah,
change camera?
absolutely.
Let me
Let's change the camera.
Let's go overhead.
We'll do that.
Overhead.
And then,
What have we
Might
got?
have to go one more zoom factor again.
all right, let's.
We can do that. We can-
I've got technology.
Very small, so
Uh-oh.
you have to get very close
Whoa.
to it. Whoa, there we go, to appreciate the fine details.
How about?
How's
that?
Great, that's
Okay.
perfect.
You
Thank
can
you.
see all the
Thanks,
rivet
BJ.
detail on it from there.
And the builder's plate. You can see the simulated brass piping and tubing and all the different fittings.
Well, there's a bear.
There's the builder plate, Bear. Yep.
There's the bear insignia I was saying.
You have separately applied metal handrails on the outside too.
They're pretty fine, aren't they?
The
Yeah.
people that construct this stuff amaze me.
Well, they
I don't
have,
know how you do it.
they have really tiny fingers, I think.
Well, this is
Must
an
be like
example.
Oompa Loompas or something, eh? Like,
The factories where they produce these, they're very talented.
they have to be.
And there's a tremendous amount of detail on the inside. Levers for the throttle, braking. You could easily fit two 00 scale. This is 00 scale, by the way, Hornby. This particular model, Peckett, which is the manufacturer, for this in real life for this locomotive. Thank you. I really love this valve
Yeah.
on top of the boiler. Like look at the finish on that. You can see the bolts holding it down to the top of the boiler. I think it's a blow-off valve, a relief valve. But we've had these in the past. This particular loco, this is widely regarded as one of the best running small steam engines that are available on the market. And Hornby really hit a home run with these. But we've received a whole batch in brand new paint schemes, the Bear being one of them.
Yep.
It's really striking.
I like the spokes on the wheels.
I did too, yeah. I've always wanted to build like a little shunting layout incorporating the use of these guys because they don't take up a lot of space.
Is this a loco that has sound?
This is not. This is DCC ready.
Oh.
So you can install a decoder into this.
And that's your favorite thing to do for people, isn't it?
It will be soon.
That will be
Yeah.
soon.
But no, this is designed for a decoder to fit in with minimal fuss. So
yeah,
we can there we go. See the whole picture now. But yeah, it's a lovely little example of a small British 040 shunter. And we actually have just received a really big shipment of brand new releases from Hornby. In fact, it's the most that I've probably ever seen come in at one given time. And there's more that's come in than what we can even talk about. So
how exciting is it getting all new fresh stuff?
It is.
Well, we're just talking earlier, actually. It's like Christmas.
This week has been like Christmas.
And what have we got here?
Absolutely. So this is the city of Edinburgh, however you want to pronounce it. But this is LMS lines, and it's a beautiful locomotive.
Mm-hmm. Very
so
black.
This is going on.
This is a coronation class. Oh, there we go. I won't take it out the box just yet, as these are like fresh to us. They've just arrived.
Yep.
Very fine details.
Did we want to go out just a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit already.
This is quite a bit bigger. This is quite a bit bigger than the Bear.
Is it?
Yeah, as you can see, this is pretty much almost full scale, and yeah, it's very big.
So it's a little bit.
Little Bear.
So this is one of the more exotic locos that would have been in its time, yeah?
Coronation class were designed for high priority passenger trains.
Yep.
So there's actually a designation that you can use to work out what these locomotives were used for and how powerful they are, how high of priority they were.
Yep.
And this is P for passenger. Goods trains will have an F, and the higher the number, the more power it produced.
Oh.
So being a 7P, I think these things only went up to about 9. Yeah.
7 person power.
I would say quite a few, probably 700,000.
7 pistons.
I don't know.
Would it have 7 pistons?
I believe that this would either have 2 pistons, one on either side, or 3, one on either side and one in the middle. But I think it's a 2-piston arrangement. But this is a brand new tooling. We've never seen this before.
Really?
And we're going to be investigating these in more detail later in the week.
So you're going to do a special unboxing episode on these.
We can go to the other camera. We'll just do it like this.
You definitely won't want to do this with me around.
Why not?
It looks way too expensive and delicate for these fat fingers to go near.
I don't know if a brushless system will fit.
No, we'll try.
But it does go. These do go very fast, just like the prototype.
Really?
So that's one example of what has arrived. I've got the box for the Bear.
That's cute, isn't it?
That's a W4.
W4.
Is it just me, or are we flickering away?
That's actually the locomotive classification, W4 for this one. But we'll go back to the main one.
Let me try and fix that, eh?
It's like we need a light globe fixed or something, baby.
Yeah.
The Flying Scotsman.
It's like the fluorescent light.
This would have to be one of the most popular trains I ever know.
That's exactly right.
And I'm only saying that because it's actually one that I've heard before, and I really know nothing about rail if you hadn't figured that out. So
I feel like
you catch trains.
I haven't caught a Flying Scotsman.
Haven't you?
No.
That's because they're flying so fast.
I would love to be able to catch the Flying Scotsman. I mean, this you're right. This is probably one of the most famous locomotives in the world. In fact,
and it comes in the sets, doesn't it?
We do sell the sets.
Yeah.
We do sell the Flying Scotsman in a set, which Hornby has been producing for probably 50 years in one way or another. Obviously, it's been improved over time, but still the most popular set by a long shot that Hornby produces to this day is the Flying Scotsman.
I do love green.
It's a nice color, and that was LNER's signature color.
Yeah.
Up until 1948 when it all became British Railways.
Try the top camera again.
Let's try that because
it looks like it's blinking to
this
me.
particular one is has a unique scheme, which I think is an early paint scheme for this locomotive. It's different than the one that we've normally seen and the one that's included in the set. Maybe we'll just go back to the
blinky, isn't he?
to this one.
Look, Nick's away for one day, and look what happens. It's like we're turning the lights on and off on people.
Oh, I'm going to go back.
That's okay.
Bit too
We'll do
blinky.
this. Yeah, a bit blinky for all of us, I think. But yeah, unique paint scheme for this. I believe it's an early scheme, and it's a nicely up spec version of the Scotsman. Nicer level of detail than the one included in the set. So beautiful example of that locomotive. It's going to be a pile before we know it.
So you got a couple of big ones?
And
I
this
do have
is
a couple big
DCC
ones.
ready too.
That is indeed DCC ready.
So
You'll know that on the box because it will tell you exactly what
that's
the specs
exactly
are.
what I read. And the minimum radius is 438 millimeters.
And
What does that mean?
that is important to know because different locomotives, depending on the length, and it's usually the length of the fixed wheels.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just sort of show our audience. So yeah, the longer the locomotive, typically the larger radius of curve that you need in order for that locomotive to get around without derailing or causing problems. And usually they're nice enough to let you know what that is. And that's something to be mindful of when you're building a layout, is that you don't go too sharp of a curve radius, because then you might decide to run like a long express passenger train and it won't fit. So it's great that they give you that information.
You need a comical grasshopper in your life.
I do.
Seems to fit and drive around everywhere.
And this is the GWR Star class, Lodestar.
Lodestar.
Lodestar, LODE, like the mother lode.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Tell me about this one.
I don't know too much about the history of this one, but I do know that this is part of a series of the Railway Museum. I believe this is a new series that Hornby's doing.
So this is a new model.
Yeah, it is a new model and representing locomotives that have been preserved.
Oh, I got confidence. Let's try the top camera again.
Okay, let's do it.
There you go. Look at that.
I'm scared. Can I breathe?
Oh, there was one blink. It's good.
As long as we don't bump the table, I think it's okay.
Is it the table?
Is it?
Don't touch the table.
Move it very, very
We've
slowly.
all gone very quiet.
It looks
This is
very
not-
pretty.
This also has the same minimum radius.
It does.
438. So
Similar
that must be
size.
a fairly common minimum radius.
Well, it's good how it's right on front, right?
Yeah. And the way the curve radii represented is that Hornby and Pico, which are the main track manufacturers out of the UK, have a numbering system, numbering 1 through 4. And that's the different size radius. Like the higher the number, the larger the radius. I think that might be a radius 2 or 3 as a minimum.
Yep.
And radius 1 is pretty much reserved for small locomotives like this. That can easily handle a radius 1, whereas this, obviously, given the extra length, needs a lot more.
Yeah.
This is more impressive, though, isn't it?
Well,
It's like
it
a big,
depends.
it's like driving a big limo around.
Yeah, it certainly is. And with the long coaches behind it, it'd be a big train. And that's
What else have you got down there?
and that's
Look at
just a very
Oh.
small selection of Hornby. But we've also just received.
What?
We're top camera still. aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, we're
confused.
going
So,
as long as it still works.
Australian
It's
Railway
looking good.
models. We have
Yeah.
another iteration of the C38 class, which
That-
is a
That's not Puff and Billy.
it's not Puffing Billy.
That's the only Australian steam train I know, I'm afraid.
That's okay. But now you know the C38 class.
Sure.
So it's another add it to your memory banks, because you'll be seeing more of this.
Yeah, C38.
We've had these before in Victorian Railway colors.
Yep.
This is in New South Wales colors, and this is the non-streamlined version.
Non-streamlined.
Non-streamlined. Haven't taken it out the box yet, but the
I've got a spare front wing from my yoke motor I might be able to put on it.
yeah, well, certainly could. It
I can
help
see
with the
from there, can't you?
downforce. Yeah.
A
But
profile.
in the profile view, we had the same class of locomotive with an aerodynamic, has a nose cone
Okay.
for high speed passenger service. This is the
Had a moustache.
non-streamlined moustache. That's right, non-streamlined version as specified here.
Non-streamlined.
DCC ready again, just like the Hornby locomotives. Doesn't say the minimum radius. I'm sorry about that, but I'd say that would be very similar to the other locomotives we've looked at.
You think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But it seems that every 6 months, ARM have been coming out with an iteration of this particular one, because we've seen both the streamlined and non-streamlined in Victorian colors, and now they've completed the collection with New South Wales Government Railways colors as well. So yeah, very exciting. We just received so much, and we're going to have to sort of break it all down over the next week or two and get into more detail.
Well, hopefully there's other locos that are turning up as well. Aren't
Absolutely.
They? Are we expecting some Barkman?
We are. Yeah, we've just unsurfaced Pico and Hornby. and we've had a full restock of Pico. So if you guys need track or any electrical supplies for building your model railways, that was a great time to have a look at what we have available. So yeah,
sounds good.
Awesome,
excellent, really cool.
I mean,
what else is in your box of tricks?
You got more stuff?
No,
that is it.
It's empty.
That's all I could fit in my box today.
All over the desk. Bloody Marlon.
You can put it back in.
So, which is your favorite loco?
My favorite is the bear.
You like the bear?
I like the bear.
The bear's pretty cool.
I like small, like goods layouts, like shunting layouts and things where a small locomotive is fits really well.
You'll have to show me this one day. I'll have to have a look at some of your videos and your shunting yards.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to work on that.
You like shunting, don't you?
Mine's nearing completion, so it'll have to come in. Yeah, small enough to come in.
I saw one that we posted the other day. It's like a tall one, and the train was going up and down like on a turntable.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
You like that?
I did like that.
I'm gonna find more of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make stuff like that.
You should.
I've been saying that for like 2 or 3 years.
You should. You've got a grasshopper to paint, mate. You just concentrate on one thing at a time.
Yeah, right. Get distracted.
Well, thanks very much, guys, and I hope everybody out there has a fantastic weekend.
Great. Thanks, Marlon. Thanks for showing us.
I'll take that.
You sure? You got it all?
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, wow. So much trains.
You enjoy that, don't you?
I love. Wow, it's good to. Like I said, when it obviously, like not obviously, but in the shop, I don't actually get to see, and a lot of these products come through. They're just like on the shelf. So if you hear Marlon speak about it,
well, that's right. It's all about getting exposure and seeing it close up, isn't it? It is amazing how much detail you can put in those.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good thing about having you around. Is there's so much exposure.
I enjoy it. So let's get back into the car of the week. So is anyone getting any ideas? You probably can't really see it. How about this? How's that? Is that better? There you go. That's enough.
Is it?
No?
What?
How about the front end?
What country is it from?
Don't know. Is it one of those African countries?
The front end's important.
I reckon the back end's important. Or does it actually say what it is?
I've heard that about you. All right,
you get to see the other side now.
Put it down, don't break it.
There you go. There's a driver's side. All right. So let's see if anyone can get that.
I think we should welcome on our special guest.
I think so too.
What do you think?
I reckon.
Mr. Tony Gray. Do we have any canned laughter?
Canned laughter?
No. Watch out for the cords, mate.
No.
There you go.
I don't want to cut everything off.
All right.
Tony?
More than aware of that.
One. Welcome, Mr. Tony Gray.
Thanks for coming in.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here, gentlemen. Means I've got an afternoon off work.
I like your t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's a fine t-shirt.
And that is
fine
one
t-shirt.
that you drew up your very self. Is that right?
It is indeed, yes.
Yep.
I have a history of doing these things.
T-shirts and design and drawing stuff is your passion.
This one has turned out to be semi-iconic, I suppose you could say.
It's got a life of its own, isn't it?
It has. So people get these when they enter the Vintage Bash. They get one for free, but people are buying them anyway to get one beforehand.
And they're buying a plethora of different colours, aren't they?
Yeah, it was originally only offered in white t-shirt with the yellow car on, but since then I've had to add a black and white car, a orange car for Lou Solar and Andy Cook.
Oh, troublemakers they are.
And now they've worked their way around the retail area of the t-shirt shop, and they're adding them onto hoodies and onto everything.
Right. So Vintage Bash, that's pretty obvious there.
What is Vintage Bash? What is a Vintage Bash?
Vintage Bash is an event for pre-2000 RC cars, buggies, obviously, and not limited to pre-2000 in that we're allowing all the re-release cars from Tamiya and Kyosho and that to run as well, because most of them are more than accurate in terms of being what they were like in the old days. They're just upgraded a little bit to
mainly reliability point of view, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not so much a performance thing.
Yeah, it's something that there's been a bit of a groundswell for vintage stuff over the years, and
I suppose it's because the older we get as that generation, I suppose, the more that we enjoyed the stuff playing with when we were kids.
For sure.
No?
Yeah.
And a lot of it harks back to the 25 years or 30 years passion that I've had for it stems back to those cars like a frog or something that that I didn't race initially, but I played with, and that's what inspired me to.
And you saw them back then, and also the manufacturers have realised this, because they're seeing that the guys who started with these cars 35 years ago, which is when I started, are now a lot older, i.e. like this, and have significantly more disposable income. So let's re-release these, and these guys will buy them all again. And
it's been working.
It's working, a treat.
Yeah, it's
we're loving it.
There's one behind you up there, B, that we should.
Which one?
The frog's up on the hook.
The frog. The frog on a hook.
Frog on a hook. Frog on a stick.
Frog on a hook like this.
Fairly sure that's not legal, Brett.
What? A frog on a hook?
A frog on a hook.
Well, before we go on, we've got a guess on the car.
What is it?
Is it a SS Camaro?
No.
No, it is not.
So, sorry, it is not. So, keep going there.
I think it's very important that front end.
Is it?
Yes. That is not a Camaro front end.
It's good to keep that a bit blurry.
Actually know. You actually know a fair bit about automotive architecture and design.
I am an automotive designer.
Yes.
Well, that would help.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, so getting back to it, so this is a re-release frog. Now, whether you've been watching or not, we've been doing episodes building this in the studio, fitting the radio gear, like I mentioned before, painting the inside of the studio, doing the body for it. And we've employed JSpec to do some custom stickers for us.
They look good too.
So he's been deployed on that. And they are in the factory Tamiya sticker sheet theme. So we've got our Hearns Racing re-release frog. Young BJ here painted up the driver figure.
I did.
So that really
we did it in one really quick session.
Yeah, we did that in a half-hour session of putting stickers on and painting the driver.
I normally take months to paint off a driver.
Pink helmet too.
Yeah, it's got to have a pink helmet. It's got to have a pink helmet. That's actually harking back to that's a PS11. It's the original paint coat of the stripe on the frog.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's got a
I like pink helmets.
I'm a big fan of pink helmets.
Yeah. So that is an example of the kind of re-release that we'll expect racing. They don't have to be box art. They don't have to be true to the word. We are going to be allowed to put modern tires and wheels on them, obviously, because you might find it a little bit tricky sometimes to get these 40-year-old setups. So within reason, they've all got to be a pin tire rear and a rib tire front, which all the modern manufacturers still make to this day for 1/10 cars.
That's deliberate because we didn't want people running the bar type tires that we use on the modern cars now because they've got so much grip and it's just ridiculous. And it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. You don't have to have a pin tire like this. You can get ones that's got lots and lots and lots of pins and they'll still work very well. The critical thing, certainly at Keeler, is just the compound. You just want a really soft compound.
Yeah. And like you said, this harks back to the aesthetics of the period. So we're just trying to recreate that, and really it is about fun. Now, it is going to be racing. Now, it's 2 days of racing, is that right?
No. It was. We thought originally we'd get an afternoon's worth of racing out of this. Now, obviously, it's blown out way beyond anything that.
How many members have we got on Facebook, or have you got on Facebook?
490.
490 active members, and it is very active. It's
Yeah.
constant conversation, photos, sharing.
There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. Every day there's new posts from people, but 490 is a bit of an exaggeration in that probably half of those are from overseas, so they're pretty much just lurkers, but that's okay because they still create content and they create a level of interest in the whole thing, and that's great. But realistically, if we've got 250 members in Australia, then we could potentially have quite a few people racing. Yeah,
and there's people I've heard coming over from New Zealand.
There is definitely one guy,
People coming down from Queensland.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a plethora from New South Wales.
So what we're going to do now is Saturday will be a sort of semi-official practice day because for a lot of these people, they won't have driven their cars and they won't have driven a Keeler. So we need to give them the opportunity to do that. So Saturday will be a practice day and Sunday will be the race day.
And the race is going to be fairly loose. I imagine that there's going to be more booby prizes and door prizes, and there will be ribbons and trophies given out.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you said?
Booby prize?
Well,
that's all right.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
It's on the big banners that we've got that we're going to hang up at the gate. It says "Leave your egos at the door."
Right.
Because certainly the overriding thing from me and Lou and Aaron, we're the guys behind this, is this is about fun.
Yep.
If you want to play for sheep stations, this is not your event.
No.
It's about getting these cars out on the track and having a good time. Winning is not important.
No.
It's not the thing. Maybe it will be for some people, but it's certainly not what we intended it to be. We just want to see these cars out there and running.
Yep.
And in
Sure.
the spirit of it, there'll be a lot of talk of old days. You know, you might even see, even if you don't have one yourself, you might say, oh, that's the car I wanted when I was a kid, or there goes my first race car, that sort of stuff, you know. So that is really good. So we've got Saturday, we've got practice day, Sunday race day. And it's not like a car like this, for example, like a pretty much stock Frog up against a 2000 model RC10 or Lossy Triple X of the day.
I'm vetting the entries as they come in.
Yep.
Because I'm the one that controls all that, and I'm asking people to put on what their main car is going to be, because some people want to switch between a couple. So if some guy says I've got an RC10 Worlds, I'm not going to put him in the same heat as the guy with the Grasshopper. So I will actually do a manual sort on that to try and keep cars as much as possible the same within that race.
Yes, and it's not about, like you said, it's not going to be about the results of the winning. It's about hopefully having a few head-to-head battles.
Yeah.
You know, and seeing 5 frogs on track at once, or 5 grasshoppers, whatever it may be.
Exactly. And most people are already have said, yeah, that's what I want. I just want to get out there and run the car.
And run with their friends.
Plus, you've got to be careful too. You run an original hot shot and try and jump the triples at Keeler. There's going to be bits of original hot shot all over the track.
How good is that going to be?
Well, it'll be good for here if you've got parts, but it's not much good for anyone else. So that doesn't work.
No.
So you need to be a bit circumspect and say, all right, I might just do like a single.
That's right.
But that's how we want it to be. We want people to not be too silly.
Yeah.
Some people will do it, and I know Defina will do it.
He does it at club racing. What do you mean?
Yeah, absolutely, because he doesn't care. He's got enough bits to fix it.
That's right.
All right.
It's definitely, the whole thing is about having fun. That's what we.
Yeah. So we're calling it the Hearns Hobbies Vintage Bash 2022. And when's it on, Tony?
Last weekend of October.
Yeah.
If you'd like to check that out on my Fat Guts.
2930 October. So that's 29th to the 30th of October.
Yep. This year.
That's where I think there'll be a few people there on the Friday as well. I think some of the interstate people will probably want to get there.
Well, I've got some stuff here. So I've got Anthony. He's coming down from Queensland.
Yep.
He's also got a question about batteries. So
yep.
He hasn't actually asked a question yet, but if I show this up here, maybe it'll prompt him to say
question
something.
about
It's probably Anthony Miller.
And then quickly, I've got a guess on the car here.
Yep.
Pontiac from Anthony again.
What kind of Pontiac?
Well, then we've got Simon. 6970 Pontiac Gto.
I thought he was our anime specialist.
He's not quite right there, actually.
No.
It's not quite right.
No.
No, you're not quite right. You're getting
It's
close.
it's not a GTO.
Simon needs to stick back to the anime, mate.
And then Tony here.
Not me.
No, not the other Tony.
Is it one of those, a Pontiac Flaming Chicken?
A flaming chicken. I can see where the beak thing comes into it.
Flaming Chicken is a Firebird.
No, all wrong?
You sure?
Is it?
Well, it's got the Flaming Chicken on the bonnet.
He's there then.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's a Firebird.
Yeah.
It is a
But we
Firebird.
don't have the year yet. We haven't got the year exactly.
All right. We'll keep them guessing. Let's keep talking.
Yep.
Vintage Bash. So we've talked about our re-releases and stuff like that. Now, what's something that could be more fun than that?
2 of them?
200 of them? Could be
200
really
of them?
cool.
No, we've got something else.
We have got something else. What have you got here, Tony? Yeah.
That would be my comical Avanti.
Why comical?
Well, look at it. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Just behind you there, Beej, is your Hearns Racing comical grasshopper.
You just say this is mine.
Yep,
That's mine.
That's your one.
that's going to
Cool.
be your entry.
You get to crash that.
Yep. Now I've been building this one again on YouTube episodes,
Yeah.
so you can check that out. And I'm going to get, or BJ, one of us is going to get that to the track in the next couple of weeks. With Mr. Gray here, we're going to get
And
some
we're going to
footage.
get 2-wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive.
Yep, and see what's up there.
Although you've already said I'm cheating because I've gone up 2 teeth on the pinion.
Yeah. So
Are
Tony,
we allowed to do that?
It's listed as an option.
Oh, and so because this guy said to me, it's
gotta
got to
be
be
built.
box out.
I
Box
thought
stock.
it had to be box stock. Anyway,
Well,
that's-
I'm quite happy to go back to the 18s. But,
I think.
but come race weekend,
It's all in.
yeah, you're getting left in the dust, buddy.
Right.
Well,
Right.
the easy way to check on these is I'll be able to check your motor mount,
Oh yeah, exactly.
and I can see exactly there that you've got the 20
Put
on
it in
there.
the 20. Yeah.
So we might have enough of these that we'll have 18 and 20 classes. Who knows? So this here is to me a comical series. They're available in two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Yeah, like we said, they both do wheelies. They both carry on, and they both look awesome. They're really good entry-level builds. They take you sort of a couple. Well, the two-wheel drive took probably a couple of hours. The four-wheel drive's probably a little bit more.
A little bit more. There's more gears inside the transmission. I think there's 8 big ones all the way down there, so it's quite a few.
And these are something that you can go from zero, as in not having anything in your RC arsenal, to being on the track and racing for sort of $400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And as I've said to you before, I've got the VW Combi version of this one, the two-wheel
Oh.
drive, and I've
I
had
think
that.
our
for-
overhead's
for-
playing up again, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
well.
turn that off.
No, that's
I'm going to try
definitely.
and fix it. I'm mixed to fix it, mate.
Are you?
Yeah. Okay.
All
There you
right.
go. No, you're not. That's still flashing.
Still
All right,
flashing.
all right,
We'll leave that.
Yeah, my Combi has been going for a few years, and I've given it hell, and it just doesn't break.
So these are really cool. These have been around for some time. There hasn't been a lot of movement on them, but yeah, they are going to be a demo class. Well, I don't know. They are going to be a fun class at the Vintage Bash. And
Strictly speaking, they're not vintage, but they're representations of vintage cars.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought we'll add this in because it gives kids a chance to come
be
in,
active.
Yeah.
go around, get to race their cars with no worries about what if I don't win or anything, because there's no winner or anything in this class. We're going to put all of these on the track at once.
Yep.
As
with
many as we can fit on the driver's stand.
Yeah, basically, which means me and maybe 2 other people.
We should be 15 to 20 on the track at any one time.
Yeah, there'll be
15 or 5 minutes, even 10-minute
Well,
races.
yeah, and it's just, and we won't know who's won.
No.
That's not the point. The point is just to have these cars out there because they don't handle very well. They fall over in the corners. There are optional axles to extend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can extend the. I think it's off TG10. They extended it out another 10 mil. It apparently makes it a lot more stable.
But we do have to race them box stock.
But I'd rather people didn't bother with that. I mean, I've got some, but I'm not going to put them in.
So all we've done here, well, all that one's copped is just a full bearing kit.
Yep.
I think
As mine.
there's 24 bearings, all of the same size. They're available for like $30, and that's really just a reliability thing, and that's going to help the gearboxes last a bit longer, be a bit quieter.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a performance thing. Big fat gears in the gearboxes.
Yeah, they're very, very tough.
Well, they're going to be chunky, aren't they?
they're
See how
geared up
long
like-
the boxes are.
They're geared at like 18 to 1, so they're not really a speed machine, but they're a huge fun machine. And I'm hoping, like Tony said, that it gets the kids involved,
Big wheelies.
because they're not really interested in, most of them aren't interested in 40-year-old frogs and stuff like the grown adults will be on the day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so BJ's going to be running one, and
Yeah.
if I can get my hands on another, I'd love to. I'm in love with it. I'm absolutely in love with it. Just playing with it in store, it turns on a dime. You can play with it inside, on the grass, whatever. Really cool thing. So that is the Comical Cup.
Yes, Comical Cup.
The Comical Park Cup. That's going to be part of the Vintage Bash. Yeah, check that out. 29th to the 30th of October this year. Now, Mr. Gray, what else have you got for us?
I don't have anything else for you.
Really?
All I brought was this and me. You
Well,
don't
we
get
got some stuff, yeah? But I've got another question from Anthony. He says he doesn't have any approved raw batteries. Is that a problem?
No.
No problem.
Raw won't be there to inspect, will they?
Yeah.
Raw's not there. You didn't invite them.
We can't expect people who've never raced before to rush out and buy approved batteries. I mean,
Okay.
That's just, I mean, it'd be nice, but it's not really critical.
No.
This is a really low key event in terms of those sort of
Yeah,
things.
it's probably the most critical thing
Yep.
that is probably going to be a bugbear for most people is the transponders. So, and there's nothing that we can do about that. All the modern clubs are geared for people to have personal transponders
Yep.
in their race cars.
Yep.
They are expensive at about $140, $150 a piece. There's something that you can keep forever, but yeah, it's something that if you're racing in one of the classes, you'll need it. Not in the comical.
Not in
club.
Comical Club, but every other club.
What if someone didn't want to get a transponder and just wanted to run anyway? Still going to let them do that?
You can run.
Yeah.
If someone didn't want to get counted and they just wanted to go, I mean,
Yep.
you'll end up going further and further down the field.
That's fine.
But that doesn't matter. That's
Yep.
not necessarily a bad thing. We don't have an issue with if someone wanted to do that, but there's no way we can get around that. As I said to you last week, Brett, I'm going to do a little short video on the transponders myself and put it on the Vintage Bash YouTube channel.
Yep.
So I'll put that up sometime next week just to explain to people what they are, how they work, so they understand.
Yep.
The thing, but basically it's like an e-tag in your car.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it? And it
it's just
plugs into one of the channels on the receiver, and there we go.
How's that? Is that legal?
That's what do you mean legal?
Can we run that?
Not in comical class. You can run that absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a 4-wheel drive though.
We've got a brushless in it.
Yep.
Well, I didn't see that bit.
Oh, I didn't.
It depends what brushless.
21.5.
Oh, really?
21.5. That's fine.
Oh, is it? Cool.
So that is really the only restriction, and that's really going to apply to, I suppose, the more competition spec cars, that they won't just have the Tamiya 540 motor.
But people can run what they want. I mean,
can run.
I've got a Tamiya 23 turn GT in my Super Shop. I'll be running that because that's what it came with. And
okay.
That's right.
It doesn't really matter.
No, but brushless, we did put a cap, didn't we, to 21.5 and 6 to 1 if it's a competition.
Yeah.
If it's an RC10 or something, is that?
We didn't. I can't remember. We've got a gear ratio restriction.
You're going to keep.
Anyway, it is what it is. There'll be nobody there to scrutiny except Aaron will be walking around.
Yeah.
Won't he? He'll be handing out canaries.
He will indeed.
He'll be walking around with the box.
Yeah. There'll be a stop-go penalty on the box. There'll be a.
We'll come up with some. If someone's too far in front of the heat, we'll come up with a way to nobble them.
To slow them down.
Yeah. And if someone's not having fun, they'll be spoken to.
I can't believe how very little that you've been heckled today, Mr. Gray.
I was expecting more from Tony P and Scotty Giles, but nothing.
Tony P has really let the team down there.
What do you mean? What's he done? What he hasn't done?
It's a decent one from Mr. Healy there.
Yes, the club will insist the batteries are safe and not damaged.
Yeah, so
that goes without saying.
If there's
absolutely,
if your batteries are falling out of their pack and there's the potential for shorts everywhere, then fair enough.
Yeah, or they're puffed and out of shape, or they're just not looking right. Like safety is a concern. That's definitely going to be paramount. Performance, not so much.
Yeah. Now, Cookie's asking about the crystal peak.
Yeah, on the area.
So if he's using a crystal, then good luck to you.
Yeah, there is going to be some people running crystals. I believe.
I will.
You will?
In one class, yes. I've got one of my original radios.
So is Willie Cheng coming? He'll be running crystals, I reckon.
Yeah,
that's all he's got. He doesn't want to know about modern things.
Oh, right, okay.
Not Willie.
So I'm assuming then with all this going on that there will be a frequency on the entry list, or there will be on practice day. There will have to be a pegboard of some description.
To be honest,
I hadn't thought about it.
I figured the amount of people that will be doing that will be so small that we could probably handle it as it happens. I don't think there'll be too many people running on old radios.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, they're shit.
Yeah.
Huh?
And for those of you who don't know, back in the old days or years gone by, we did used to have cars with crystals in them. So that transmitter would talk to that car.
Yep.
But that wasn't unique like what we have now. So another person could have channel 36 of 29 megahertz.
Mm-hmm.
And if they turned on their transmitter, that would affect your car.
How fun was that?
You'd hear someone somebody on my channel.
Yeah, somebody turned. And many cars have been broken and destroyed and races lost and tears had from such things. We used to have transmitter impounds. We used to have a pegboard. There was lots of things. And it's actually probably one of the best things for LiPo batteries that has really transformed the hobby, that pain that we just don't feel anymore.
Yeah.
So the 2.4 gigahertz system, once that is paired to your car, that is it. Nobody else can turn on, nobody can interfere.
Yep.
Components can fail and it can fail safe. Or if you're drawing too much current at the velodrome, your battery can unsolder.
Yep.
And off it goes.
But no amount of gigahertz is going to save that.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we've covered lots. Do you want to stay here while we talk other things?
No, I'll go and sit over there.
All right, you go and sit over there.
Right.
While we talk other things.
All right. We'll probably bring you back a bit later because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more
there'll be more
questions. There's heaps of questions already.
I can answer questions from over here.
I'm going to try and
put you on the stool here if you want, Tony.
No, I don't want to sit too close to you.
I'll wear a mask.
Yeah.
Does that help? No?
All right, so I'm going to try this top camera again.
The blinky one.
It's not blinking anymore.
Blinky
So
bell.
as long as we don't like sneeze, I think we're all right.
Now, Simon Healy stuck his little head up before, didn't he?
You,
Is he watching?
Yeah.
Hi, Simon. So, Wednesday evening, Simon was in studio.
Yep. It was a really good evening.
It was a
Really interesting, wasn't it?
It was a really good evening. It was quite interesting.
Yep.
And we are going through the process of doing a step-by-step build. Simon Healy and myself.
Yep.
And the odd cameo from young BJ here. We're going through a step-by-step build of Yokomo's latest two-wheel drive buggy, the DTM 3.1.
Right. So this is where you're up to now, right?
Yeah. So that is more than step one, but that's what about a half an hour of work realistically, and a lot of jokes and banter got us.
There was a lot of banter.
So we got the obviously we chose Simon. We asked Simon Healy to help us with this because he is the Yokomo 1/10 off-road guru. He's our crew chief and team leader in that regard. So if anybody knows how to build one of these kits, it's him. And yeah, so he's given us a few valuable pointers. We've put on
Comment there too.
one upgrade so far. We've got the alloy steering bell crank, and he showed us how to shim that and take all the play out, which is really good. So I'm looking forward to getting more episodes on this build. And we'll go all the way through and hopefully get it to the track sooner rather than later. So that's
pretty good.
So that is really cool. So that is that, and the comical grasshopper. That's two builds we've got on the go.
Yep.
So that is really cool. Big thank you
we've
to Simon.
We've got other builds that we're planning too. What else did you start?
Yeah, I'll show you what else we started. So that's the Yokomo DTM 3.1 build.
Yep.
Looking forward to getting that on there.
I like all this. It's been a while since I've gotten into a competition two-wheel drive.
Now these are almost
chunky.
These are almost comical in comparison to what we have here on the
Can we put those on the comical?
Oh.
One way to find out.
There's one way to find out, Tony reckons.
Here, bring this over here. Let's have a look. All right, so there's your regular shock.
So there's your regular shock, and there is your 16 millimeter bore. Big shock shaft, 135 shock shaft. That's the rear shock of HB Racing E819 RS that I'm building.
Yeah, and
that is again the latest offering from HB Racing in electric 8-scale off-road. So looking forward to get that done. Again, about an hour in the studio has yielded us 4 shocks.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the details about polishing the shock shafts and the Dremel.
Yeah, and all the lubes and stuff that you put on
using the lubes. Yeah, packing the O-rings with O-ring grease and that sort of thing. Explaining that, getting the shock shaft lengths. Even went to the extra detail of putting notches onto the spring retainers.
Use a special tool, didn't you?
The spring collars there, so we can sort of just count and make quick adjustments on the spring preload collars.
Yep.
So that's the HB Racing build that's coming along. So check that out on YouTube as that comes about. That'll probably be released in a week or two.
Yep.
So
and then I'm going to be building a blockhead as well.
You're going to be building a blockhead. That's going to be super special, isn't it? How many hours do you think it's going to be in that?
More than one.
More than one?
Yeah.
You think they should be a little bit more challenging, I'd say, than the comical?
Oh, it would be. There's a lot more parts, obviously.
The comical was actually great to build on camera because without actually fast forwarding or feel like I had to rush, the thing just came together.
Yeah.
And being Tamiya quality, it actually went together really well.
Yeah, well, the fit is always there with Tamiya.
You know? So we didn't, like with the Yokomo when we were, shimming up the bell crank and that sort of stuff. It's not sort of steps that you would do on it to me. You know what I mean?
No.
If the steering's on, then it's good enough.
Yeah.
But those things are at different level.
Now, so a few things happening.
Another thing we've been playing with. If you want to grab the green car off that hook behind you.
The green car.
Yep. So this is the predecessor to the DDM 3.1. Yep. That's Mikal 3.
What do you got in your hand over there? What's that thing?
What is this? Have we got the top camera working?
Let's give it a go.
So I can do a bit of we've got the top camera. Yep, we can see that. So if I turn that on, it should give it away. That is the Futaba 10PX.
Well, it's there too. Just to remind you, that is a 10PX.
Yep, and we can
also,
see.
Where else is it? It's right there too.
Yeah, it's on the top there.
Yeah.
So we've had this from Futaba Australia to promote, market, play with and get to learn ourselves as well, I suppose.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So I've taken the opportunity to do a couple of videos on calibrating binding. And convenient enough, it's made, the receiver's actually made its way into this car. So if you want to whip the body off that for us, Beach, it's got a bit of Velcro on there. You should be used to. Just whip that off. Oh, there we go.
Oh, see?
Oh, quick release. It wasn't tearing. It was just Velcro, mate.
You got to do it quick. There's less pain.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. And you can see in here that we've actually got the new R404 series receiver. Can we see that? You're going to have to get in there and zoom. Zoomy. Not too
where
much.
are you? Where are you? You're in the wrong spot. Hang on.
Hang on. Here we go.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's so small. You know.
Oh, that's the one with the integral antenna, right?
Yeah. So this is the 404 SBS-E, and it's got the internal antenna.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see. It's that
sort
small.
of that L shape.
And it's really highlighting the dodgy wiring on that old transponder there. Often the case when you try and start shortening wires and have them fall out of your car and that sort of stuff.
That's what happens when you're going fast.
That's right, trying to.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
So we've done that.
So there's that receiver. There was another one as well, wasn't there?
That's right.
The other one. Is that the other one?
And we are ready for takeoff. You can hear by that sound. So they are the two receivers that will be coming with the radio set, I'm led to believe.
So the one with the antenna is one for extreme
well, it covers all
reliability,
bases.
Right?
Yeah.
So quite often you use this more for a gas car.
Nitro, gas, extreme distances.
And then,
whereas this one is more focused to tent scale,
Yep.
on-road and off-road.
And
basically.
electric.
Electric, yeah.
So the shape is basically the same.
Yep.
But obviously it just doesn't have the larger lip to hold the internal antenna.
So, and we've got an external antenna here.
Yeah.
Which on tent scale cars and touring cars lately is quite a pain.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to matter on your Frog or your 8 scale buggy or whatever.
No.
Or your 5th scale Baja 2-stroke thing.
Yeah.
But on the 10 scale stuff, it can be a bit painful. So it's good to see that they've refined that.
So you see the number of ports. You've got 4 channels there and an S port. Is the S for the S bus?
That is the S bus. Sorry, just unplugging the fan. That was quite annoying. So there's 4 channels on there, and then you put the S bus port in there, and then you can control another 6 servos.
So 10 channels operated independently
from
the one
4-channel receiver.
Yeah, that's quite amazing.
And there's 10 buttons. Well, there's a lot more buttons on the controller to control that.
Yeah.
And of course, full channel mixing. Yeah, it's not something that we'll really utilize in our 2-channel off-road buggies and cars.
Yeah.
But for your drifting and your crawling and stuff. So this one here has been paired, as you can see, fully operational. It can do more adjustments than I'll ever use, to be honest.
Well, I guess we'll be giving this a bit of a go, and
why not?
Yeah, see how it feels.
Why not? We're going to see how it feels. Like I said, and stock is due in the next week or 2, to be honest. I believe that they're
it shouldn't be too far away.
So we've got to get some content, get some instructionals out.
Yes.
So that is for Taba's new 10PX. And that is going to sit 1 model above the 7PX, 7PXR, which is their current flagship. And it's got the new protocol is the main thing. And for all those who have got the current Futaba range, the models, the menus and the operations are very familiar to you. They should be very familiar. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That is Futaba's 10PX.
Cool.
All right.
I do? Just hold that down. Oh, there we go.
That'll do.
Say goodbye. Good night.
That is done.
All right.
And I think that brings us to the closing of everything. Did anybody guess the car?
I don't think so.
Tony P got close.
I was going to show you this too, just quickly.
What have you got?
Got a big tank.
A tank.
So this is the Das Werk. I tried to do an accent there. I don't know if it works or not. So Das Werk. Yeah, 1/16 scale, a Stalk 3. So we've been working quite heavily on this. Warwick's been doing a lot of design work, 3D work of accessories, and what we've come up with, we've got 3 of these, which are Hearns exclusives. So as you can see, a little tag there, and they're all sealed with a tag as well. And it includes quite a lot of the Hearns Workshop resin accessories standard.
There's in excess of 10 parts, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 10. Yeah, there's 10 parts in total. So
10 parts in total.
There's 3 different muzzle brakes. There's the Salkopf mantlet, which is the really curvy cast one.
Yep.
There's S hooks, C hooks, all Also the the welded bolts, which are on the front applique armor, and also the fire extinguisher and such, which have more detail than the original ones.
And it also comes with this certificate
It
of
does.
authenticity.
Yes, so it comes with a signed 75th anniversary certificate.
And this is one of our special 75th anniversary releases.
That's right. So only 3 will ever be produced.
Yep.
And when you get these, it actually works out cheaper by getting it as a package than buying all those bits individually.
Yeah, because through our Hearns workshop, the parts are available, aren't they?
That's right.
All those 3D printed parts that we've been working on.
So really nice, real big.
And they have all been blueprinted from original stuff.
Yes.
All been drawn in CAD and all made on the highest quality resin printing machine.
Right. That's it.
So that is super cool. So when are you going to build that one?
Excuse me?
You don't you build models?
Yeah, I do, but
what?
I've got stuff I've already started.
Have you?
Making me feel guilty.
Are you scared?
I'm meant to be finishing stuff off for Expo, but I really haven't started
You've
yet.
You've got a comical grasshopper to paint. You just worry about that.
All right, that's my first focus.
We'll do it now.
Oh, you want to paint now? It's not like we haven't done that before.
This guy's a master painter in the background.
Hey, who?
Tony, a master painter.
That's some pretty amazing stuff, eh?
Oh, through the years, I think he's like probably Australia's first finest RC body painter for sure. And he can make your toy race car look like a runner.
Yep.
I've seen that. I wasn't there personally to see that. I wish I was, because that would have made my day. That made my day when I saw that. That is so you. Yeah. So look out. All right, guys. I think that's it. What?
Dude, we have to talk about the car. Don't we have to tell everyone what it is?
No.
Well, that's what we normally do.
Not too bad. We can have it on next
You're a
week.
bit harsh, aren't you?
Well, they didn't guess it. Stuff them.
No, we talk about it and we say how good it is.
Is it?
Yeah. What is it? Actually, I don't know. Isn't it a 68?
I don't know.
I don't know. What do you mean?
It's not a hot chicken. Didn't somebody call it a hot chicken?
Yeah, I've got the box here. Look.
Roman chicken.
1968 Firebird.
Oh, that's why it's called a hot chicken.
Hot chicken. Firebird hot chicken.
It's not the chicken unless it's actually got that on the bonnet.
Oh, okay.
Does it have it on the bonnet?
No.
Oh, it doesn't, but it says so on the box.
Yeah, but it doesn't have it on there. I can see it.
Well, you called me a liar.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. That wouldn't be the first time. Oh, well, there you go. So this is...
And this is diecast.
Yeah, 18 scale dice cast.
I'm not used to seeing diecast up here. Usually we've got the model resin ones.
There you go.
There's the box. Nice box.
All right, so it's made by
So
Acme.
do you get 2 cars or one?
No, you just get the one. So it is
blue-
available in a white or a blue. So this particular version is the blue one.
And the blue actually looks way better than the box. It sort of looks a bit chintzy on the box.
It does. There's a lot more depth in it, isn't it?
That is
It's
a
metallic
really nice car.
It's got some nice
Side
detail.
pipes on it.
Yep.
It's looking good. It's got leaf springs. It wouldn't be an American muscle car without leaf springs.
What does it say there?
What does it say there? 1968 Firebird, used under license.
See? But there's no Firebird here,
I'm not licensed to drive that.
aren't you?
No.
How'd you open the bonnet before? I like that.
It's American, mate. You got to hit it.
Hit it. Is that what they generally do? Oh, let's have a look here. All right, so you got a bit of
How
engine
big's the
detail.
engine? Did anybody guess? How big's the engine?
Bigger than my thumb.
Is it?
Yeah.
I want to say 5.7, but how big was the engine in this
there's
one,
battery.
Tony?
You got battery leads, which are really nice.
Most of them would have come with a 350 small block. I would
Yeah.
think.
5.7 litre, we think. I don't know.
It's really nice. Internals,
Old American cars are not my forte.
brake cylinder.
Brake cylinder.
You got the
Don't touch it.
oh, whoops, sorry. Let's close that off. And really nice panel fit too for opening bonnets.
I like the wheels. Oh,
the
the
wheels.
seat moves.
What do you mean moves?
Or it broke, one of the two.
Oh, it
No.
does too.
Oh,
It
good.
moves all the passengers are getting in
Well,
and out.
how else would you get in the back? Two-door, mate.
$2.
It's like Mum's Beamer. You have to do that.
There you go. There's the wheels.
All right,
and
that's
then we got-
enough. Put it
Got a
down.
spare in there too.
Let's go. What time is it? We've got stuff to do.
Have you? All right. Okay. So we're.
255.
Oh wow! There you go. It is time too.
55 minutes of fury. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's been another
BJ.
nice episode.
Yeah, it was awesome to have Tony Gray with us today.
Yeah,
Talk
for sure.
about the Vintage Bash, talk about everything we've been doing, and we've been doing a lot. And I know Mr. Marlin was super excited with his train stuff, and he'll
Well,
be
it's good stuff.
unpacking that for days.
Yeah. And there's more new stuff too, so I'll probably look at that next week.
He really liked his bear.
He loved the bear, didn't he?
I like bears
Yeah, I
too.
know what to get him for Christmas. All right, guys.
All right. On that note, did we miss any questions? No.
No comments.
Oh, Mr. Scott Rawlings. Hello. He's
Hey,
asking
Scott.
how we're doing. We're doing pretty well so far.
We're doing really well.
Yep.
We're doing really well.
Yep.
I'm bitterly disappointed with the heckling that Tony received, but anyway.
So Simon said this is a 400 small block.
400 small block.
You reckon?
Well, he'd know.
Yeah, he probably would.
He loves those cars.
Yep.
Be right up his alley.
Oh, look, I see your car. Probably said g'day as well.
Hey, boys, how are you? I hope the weather's nice up in Sydney this week and they can get out on track.
There's a guy named Nicola over there too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is he watching?
Yeah, he said keep it for next week. What are we keeping for next week?
The car,
Oh,
not the weather.
I've already
The
given it
weather.
away.
The weather.
I didn't
Well,
see that.
I told you. I told you.
I'll bring it out again next week.
We better
Maybe
we better hope we get more stock because we've sold all the
Maybe
others.
everyone's going to
The
forget by
cabinets are
next week.
bare.
Ah,
Yep.
excellent.
Fantastic, guys. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have.
Before you sign off, there's
yep.
one quick question.
Oh.
So Rob's asking, is four-wheel drive class 7.5 turn or 21.5 turn?
I don't know.
Something around that?
It's in the rules.
Oh, it's in the rules.
It's in the
Okay, so
rules.
Rob, you're going to have to check the rules.
Yeah.
So check the rule book and it'll say
I don't know.
I believe that 7.5 is acceptable.
probably 7.5.
In four-wheel drive, otherwise
Yep.
they're a bit slow.
Are they?
All right.
The frog will lap them. Hey?
Yeah, lapping it up.
Actually, got to get myself a sports tune organised.
Right.
Hey?
Okay. Well, on that note, let's say our goodbyes again. So thanks again for joining us. And wherever you are in the world, I'm sure we get quite a few viewers from all parts
Yeah.
of our globe.
Oh, I've heard
From all over.
I've heard there's people even from Dubai joining us today.
Really?
Yep.
That's an odd place, isn't it?
Why not?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Why not?
Everyone can enjoy it
You can
anywhere.
reach out. We've even probably got some New Zealanders.
Yes,
Probably got some Tasmanians.
yes.
Probably got them all.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. See
Thanks
you
for
next
having
time.
us. See you next Friday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.